At 10 a.m., we have some very important observations that we are taking a look at. Of course, this is our continuation of our storm watch as we continue to watch our storm evolve. We are at the point we've reached the warmest conditions for much of the coastal plain. The only outlier is, again, the east end of Long Island and extreme southern New Jersey, where both of these locations are in the 40s. Take a look at central New Jersey. We're back down to freezing around Belmar. We were just around 8 a.m. It's 10 a.m. now. 8 a.m. We're at 34. We have dropped back down to freezing. Locations like around Freehold, New Jersey, where we're at 31.6 degrees and holding. We have winds coming in from the north. And the reason why is that our surface low pressure system is now over the coastal waters, and we're starting to get that cold air transport starting to take hold. Notice the winds over eastern Pennsylvania are starting to back to the northwest. We have winds coming from the northeast on Long Island. That freezing line is not going to be budging all that much. And while that is happening, our precipitation is intensifying. So you're getting the enhancement of the lifting that we've been watching all morning starting to develop. And now we got this band of moderate to heavy precipitation throughout the I-95 corridor, lighter snowfall off to the north. Why do we have this light snowfall? Well, you have all this strong lifting going on here. So you have to have an area of sinking air, which is exactly what is happening here over northeastern Pennsylvania and northern New Jersey. This is the back end of our storm. And what we're going to see is that this whole area is going to start to fill in as this marches closer, and we'll get another shot of snowfall. And then this will all change over to snow gradually. Why? Well, what's happening at each level of the atmosphere is basically the start of cold air transport. At the surface, our surface low pressure system, again, right off the southern New Jersey coast around the Delmarva Peninsula. And so what we're seeing here are winds starting to back to the north. There's our freezing line essentially stalling out while we're getting heavy precipitation. If you have rain outside in these areas, that is freezing rain, that is ice. So use extreme caution, because even though it's rain, it's still going to create a lot of slick roadways, a lot of slick passageways and sidewalks and whatnot. At 850 millibars, what really stood out to me is this signal right here. We're starting to see the winds back here, and you're starting to see winds coming in from the west here over central Pennsylvania as our polar shortwave catches up to this whole gradient and drives cold air towards the coast. So again, at the mid levels, the warming's going to continue as slowing down, and this is going to start to basically pivot, and you're going to see this area over the next 2 hours start to drop back towards the coast, and that freezing line drop down towards the coast. Again, at 850 millibars, we're seeing the same scenario here. Again, not an organized closed low, but here's our trough, and here's our cold air transport starting to develop over central Pennsylvania, and that's going to have these winds shift as our trough axis here with the polar shortwave approaching catches the gradient. Again, as a result of that, you're seeing the strong lifting starting to show up here. And again, that also shows up here on the water vapor satellite picture. The latest should I say HRR guidance here depicts what we have right now pretty well. There's a little bit more precipitation down here towards southern New Jersey than reality. Here we have 10 a.m. right now, and here's the mild depiction of that. You can still see pretty good handling of the ice rain line here, and then the snow and ice line here around New York City and portions just north of Trenton. And then watch what happens as we head towards the afternoon hour. That freezing line does not move, and then the snow comes in at the back end. So locations like northeastern Pennsylvania, northern New Jersey, the Hudson River Valley, northern Connecticut, you'll continue to get snow. The I-95 corridor, this is now an ice storm. This is now prolonged periods of sleet and freezing rain. You do not need a lot of freezing rain to cause a lot of problems, so use extreme caution. And then that ice is going to change back over to snow before ending. So again, we're going to continue to see this threat continuing. And looks like the end time, once again, for the Philadelphia Metro between 2 and 3, for the New York City Metro between 3 and 4, for Eastern Long Island and Eastern Connecticut between 5 and 6. That is your update for this hour. Have a wonderful day, and please stay safe out there.